Welcome back to another episode of Raw Calisthenics. Today I was hitting a push day with the focus on planche training. If you guys want to follow along to the workout, I'll leave a list of everything I did in the description down below. But whenever I hit a push workout, I always start off with handstands. And then as the workout progresses, it gets more focused on doing some exercises that help with the planche. But for today's topic, I wanted to talk about the power of focus and how important that is in today's day and age in general, but how that also applies to calisthenics in of itself. So as you can see right here, as I'm doing the handstand, a handstand to an elbow lever, I am completely focused on everything that is involved with the movement, as far as what muscles need to be engaged, being able to keep myself upright and balanced, being able to go down in a manner to where I'm not going to lose control. And there's so much that's involved that if I get sidetracked or if I lose focus on all of those components, then it's so much harder to do the movement correctly and with proper form. And if you guys are new to calisthenics or if you've been doing it for a few years now, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the more advanced a skill is, the more you have to be focused in order to do it properly. And there is a lot of times whenever I can't do something to its highest degree, that it can always be attributed back to me not having the focus, or like I hear something in the background and it takes my mind away from what I'm doing. But it is so vital, to have focus when it comes to calisthenics, but also in life in general. And in today's day and age, with the rise of short form content, especially TikTok, people's attention spans are very short, as we all know, and it's getting worse every single year. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already clicked off this video for that exact reason. But not being able to focus and having a short attention span has a pretty big impact on someone's life. It has an impact on your inability to be successful, to be present, and to accomplish more with your life. And I've always had a hard time focusing since I was young. I was never diagnosed with having ADD or ADHD, but I'm pretty sure I fall somewhere on that spectrum. But it wasn't until I got into calisthenics that it really showed me the power of having focus, because like I said earlier, if I'm not focused on any advanced movement, I'm just not going to be able to do it. So it really trains your brain to learn how to focus if you haven't learned it already, and to really elevate that to another level. Because when you're doing something physical like this, where you have to be balanced especially, it requires an immense amount of focus that is really unmatched to a lot of other things in life. But the good thing is that eventually you'll be able to apply this focus to other areas of your life as well. And for example, I used to be the kind of guy in the gym that would always be on my phone in between sets whenever I'm taking a break. And I guarantee if you look around at a gym now, at least half the people there are on their phone at any given time, which is pretty crazy. But if I'm at the gym now, I'm essentially never on my phone, because I understand the power of focus. And, if your mind is somewhere else, half the time during your workout, and you're not completely fixated on what you're doing, you're not taking it seriously, and you don't have a plan, you don't have a structure with how you're going about things, then you're not going to get the result that you want in most cases. And it's very hard to really get the most out of something if you're not putting in all of your effort. If you guys don't have the body that you want, it can be broken down to a lack of focus. You either are not focused on being able to count your macros and having that ingrained into your routine. You're not going as hard as you can in the gym, probably because you're on your phone all the time. Or you just don't have a structure or a routine to where you go X amount of days a week and you know exactly what needs to be done because of a lack of research or a lack of effort being put into the entire subject. You need to think about how you go about your day. Like, what do you do when you first wake up? Do you just go right on your phone, go onto social media? Because it's very hard to instill focus into your mind and how you go about doing things if half the time or more you're just allowing yourself to get pulled in all directions, and you don't have a structure and you don't have a focal point in your life to where you actually prioritize that, to where you don't even want to go on social media and get sidetracked. Because if you want something bad enough, you're going to find a way to block everything out that does not need to be there. It seems like people go on their phone nowadays whenever they get the opportunity to, like how I alluded to earlier, if you're in between sets at a gym, or if you're at a stoplight, or if you have any downtime. It's like a lot of people's first reaction, it's almost instinctual at this point to just go on your phone without any direction or any purpose, but just to go on it. And, I firmly believe now that in life we need to have a focal point, something that drives us, something that gives us a sense of passion and purpose. And I think people are just lacking that, which makes it easier for people to gravitate towards instant gratification, going on their phone, and not living a life with intention. But if you want something bad enough, you're going to find a way to get there, and you're not going to want to be on social media. You're not going to want to consume bullshit, because everything that you consume has a direct effect on the way you think, the way you feel, the way you operate. And I don't want to allow myself to go onto a platform where I'm going to inevitably consume something that's not going to benefit me, and put my mind in a state to where I'm comparing myself to people. I have FOMO, feel like I don't have something that I should have, when in reality, all that I need is me, myself, and I, shelter, food, water, all the basic necessities of life. And, in this day and age, everything's thrown at you in a way to where we feel like we need to be a part of it. We want to be included, and we want to know what's going on. But the more that you're in that state, the less in tune you are with yourself and who you are at your core. I truly believe that we're all meant to create on this planet, and it's hard to bring value and to be in that state of wanting to impact the world and bring something into this world if you're always in a state of consuming. Because if you're always consuming, you're just the byproduct of everything that you're giving your own attention to. And if you're always consuming shit that doesn't provide value to your life, and it's all just miscellaneous garbage that's just thrown at you, then you're not going to be able to channel what exactly it is that you want to bring to this world and how you want to impact people. And I'm not saying that I'm, outside of all of this, because I still consume content. If I ever go onto Instagram, I only post and then I get off the platform entirely. Sometimes I'll get sucked into the algorithm on YouTube. It's not that bad, but I tend to follow creators that actually add value to my life and inspire me to create more. So it actually helps me. But I've gotten to the point to where I want to bring value to the table, and I want to have my impact felt to where I'm not even inclined to consume any content. And that's what I want for everyone else, because we all have value and we all have power that's just yet to be channeled. And the more you give in to social media, or just anything that takes you away from your core in general, it's not only social media. It can just be you and your friends talking about some low IQ shit, talking about drama, gossip, anything like that. Distractions such as going out to the bar when you know it's not a place for you and you're not going to meet the love of your life, and you're just wasting money, time, and energy on it to feel like shit the next 4 or 5 days. Or having any vice that is taking you away from your core. But it can come in many different forms. But just, I made a video on why you should simplify your life, the key to self-improvement. If you guys have watched that, you know what I'm talking about. But, it all just comes down to simplicity and just having presence, and things will come to you, and it'll be more clear how you should go about life and what aligns with you. But to just waste the prime years of your life, if you're in your 20s, if you're in high school, even if you're in your 30s or 40s, to just consume what other people want you to see, and to just be in that state at all times whenever you have downtime, and not seeing yourself as having value to create yourself. Not that you have to be a social media influencer, but just create some value, or just do what you like to do in life. Just have fun, and have a sense of adventure, or just do something that's beyond consuming content. Because I don't think anyone can say that they actually enjoy the act of consuming content unless they're watching, a creator that adds value to their life, like how I said earlier. But just the act of mindlessly consuming content and just scrolling on social media, or just being in these situations you don't want to be in, because we all truly have value. And I think we often forget about that when we're in these states of over-consuming and not applying our focus in the right way to trying to see what value that we can bring to the table and how we can create. And like I said earlier, it's not like you have to create in a social media sense or be an influencer or anything like that. But I think that this is the best way for me to have an expression and make my mark and try to inspire people to be their best. But we all have something within us that we can bring to the table and we can have value that other people can take away from. And the more that you get sucked into whatever is taking you away from your core, the less likely you'll be able to apply that into your life and have impact on the people around you. You know, if you have screen times of 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and most of that is on social media and you're just wasting it, then it's going to be harder and harder to get out of the hole and actually create a life that you want to live. Because if you invest that same time into something that you want to build, something that you want to bring to the table, you'll transform your life entirely.